memories possessed.
Johnny, thank you so much for speaking with me. I think I can still say this. Happy New Year. I mean, because we're in a new year, so I'm going to say that. Happy New Year. How has your year so far been, and how have things been for you dealing with 2020? Because, wow, with COVID-19 and so many other things going on, who would have known that 2020 would be the kind of year it has been, and who would even have thought that 2021 so far has almost been an extension of 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that was a long question. I'm going to try to remember it. We sort of spent, I guess for us, we would play a lot live, so we sort of took the vow that we wouldn't perform until it was, safe. Leslie said, I don't really want to invite anyone to come out and see us play, given the chance that they could potentially get sick at one of our shows. She said, I couldn't bear that. So the rest of the band were kind of like, yeah, we get that. And we support that. So we then channeled our energies into finishing up some projects. We did some lockdown videos earlier in March, and then when the first lockdown restrictions were lifted here in Saskatchewan, we included everybody in the band, included each other in the expansion of our personal bubble, and we started playing and jamming and writing songs. And we never really ever applied for a grant before, but people were saying, there's a grant out there, you should apply for this recording grant. So we thought, let's go for it, and we got some money from Creative Saskatchewan to to help us make this record. And so we recorded it at home like we do most of our stuff, and we hired a guy in Saskatoon to mix it, mastered it in Saskatoon, and then got it ready to come out at the end of the year, but it was a little delayed, so we just thought, January is a good time for that. And quite honestly, as quiet as Christmas was, it almost lulled us into some kind of deep winter slumber. And when January rolled around, it's like, holy crap, our record's coming out in 2 weeks. So we've been super busy so far for 2021, but it's kind of still looking like a little bit of a gong show out there as far as live music goes.
Yes, well, I've heard things probably won't be happening until probably fall, if everything is correct. But you use the word slumber. Slumber is not this new album that you guys have. I've listened to all the tracks, and wow, talk about a great representation of old school country with new school. So many different instruments, so many different flavors, so many different stories to tell. First off, to let everybody know what the name of the album is, and what was the theme that you guys were going for this album, because this is a sophomore album.
Yeah, it's our second record, and the album is called Random Fireworks on a Beach Obscured by Trees. And I guess that sort of title is, we were going up to Turtle Lake, which is sort of northwest of Saskatoon here, a couple hours northwest of here, to spend some time with my mom. And our guitar player Brent also has a cabin at the lake, so we see him up there as well and hang out. But we got up there, it was about 10 o'clock at night, and I'm just telling you the story, I guess, of the album title. And there was people on the beach, we couldn't really see it, but there was just all of a sudden these fireworks that were just going off. And it wasn't July 1st or July 4th, so it was just seemingly kind of random. And, they fired off fireworks for about 45 minutes, just sort of all willy-nilly and random like. And I was taking pictures with my camera and with the phone on my camera on my phone, and when we look back at it later, it was like, oh, look at all these random fireworks on a beach, obscured by trees, and it just sort of flowed out of my mouth. And then we thought, well, this is a great title for the record, because in a sense, all of these songs are just little explosions of joy and beauty, and we felt like the second record, the band has sort of fallen into a comfortable pair of shoes, and we kind of know a bit better who we are, we're capable of, and this record is just is a little more polished. And yeah, there's some variety on it, because that's the kind of music we grew up listening to, was all kinds of stuff, FM radio and hits of the day and stuff like that. So
when were most of these songs written? And just curious.
I'd say about half of them were written over this summer, and some of them we've probably been playing in the band for 2 years already. So we'd some of them have a good lived-in sort of vibe and good feel, and other ones are sort of new and fresh. So, they all work together nicely.
One of the things I do love about with this album is the instruments that you guys used on this. Could you talk a little bit about that, please? Because the instruments that you used really brings out each of the songs.
Right. Okay. So, it's a sort of a traditional guitar, bass, drum lineup. Leslie plays a lot of acoustic guitar, and she did a lot of keyboards on the record. Brent, our guitar player, plays a pretty mean slide guitar, and he's just a great rock guitar player with a good blues vibe when we need it. And he really can. Some of the solos on that record are just Telecaster kind of Nashville country picking sort of stuff. It's really, really cool to hear him do that. But we did bring in a guy. The fifth Beatle would be a guy named Sam Drabaka, who's a multi-instrumentalist who played violin and mandolin and some pedal steel. And other than that, it's guitar, bass, and drums with the addition of those elements.
Definitely different speeds. Like I said, different stories, different songs. What's the latest single right now as we speak?
The newest single off this record is going to be the song called Ghost.
And what is Ghost about, sir?
Well, Ghost is sort of a reflection of these times. I mean, we kind of got to thinking there's so many people that I have not seen or that we have not seen in a long time. And it's just it's like they're a ghost. And it's like I'm a ghost. I don't see people and people don't see me. But you're alive in people's memories, right? And hopefully that when this is all over, there'll be a great party, just like in the Spanish flu when it ended. It was the 20s, the Roaring 20s were right after that. So I hope that we have the Roaring 20s again.
And when the covers bang, and twilight shadows pierce, will you still remember me? Will you keep holding on to a ghost?
We definitely need that. You see, one of the things I love about this album is, number one, I cannot wait to hear you guys playing this live. Because this, to me, I just kept thinking to myself, this is an album that you're playing in your backyard with friends at a barbecue or something like that, or it would be at some kind of big jamboree. I mean, it's got so much energy. Was that the feel that you guys were going for with this?
Yeah. I mean, we've played a lot of live shows together, and we really got to know each other as musicians, and we wanted to do something that was sort of upbeat and had a good vibe all the way through. And yeah, thanks for saying that, because it does have elements there's a certain, although some of the topics can be a little heavy, there's a certain element to this record that is uplifting and makes you want to have gatherings and have fun, right? So we love playing live, and we can't actually wait to get out and do these songs live, because when we were playing them in the basement for a live streaming thing that we did earlier this fall, we could do it live. It's not a big stretch, so it sounds really good, and we're super excited to get out and play one day.
Will that happen? I mean, I know live right now is, no, but of course there's probably going to be some talks of hopefully maybe doing some drive-ins when the summer rolls around. Is there any talks in on that? Also, will you guys be doing any virtual in the meantime?
Yeah, we're sort of we're ready to go in the summertime. Probably outdoor stuff will be the first thing that's sort of acceptable to do, I guess. Those drive-in things were starting to come around, and people are starting to buy into it a bit. So I could probably foresee us doing some of that stuff earlier in the year, before the fall, perhaps. But we do have a couple of live streaming events that we want to we're going to try and do one March 16th, and we were going to try and do one coming up here for early February. But it's the way it's going right now. It's getting kind of harder for us to get together and rehearse, so we might just have to delay that a little bit.
No, I understand that. And you probably heard of, we're speaking here where you are. Of course, I'm in Toronto for Ontario, and everything is literally going to be shut down as we speak in another day or so. So
yeah, I heard that.
It's literally locked up in the house, only going out for essentials and things like that. So that's why, having music songs being released and just being able to close your eyes and just gather around with family, maybe dance a bit, just forget about the tough times is a great thing. And having an album like this, I think, helps lead us into the good times that we were kind of promised for 2021. What advice can you actually give folks? Because, of course, being where you are and during tough times, still being able to put music together and release something so great as you have, what advice can you give other folks out there who are looking to get through these tough times and be able to release their own joy?
Oh, there's a lot of noise, and it's just hard. It's hard, and I'm a particularly social kind of guy. I mean, I like to get out and see bands and see friends and have drinks and hang out, and so it's kind of it's kind of getting to me a little bit, but music is a great distraction, and Les and I have always been writers and songwriters, and we quite often will pick up instruments at home to keep us sane. But as far as any advice goes, I mean, just do, if you're into music and you want to write songs, just do what feels good for your soul and make yourself, create your own joy and, connect with people. I know it's maybe through the internet or through a phone call, but you can't let relationships slide. You can't count on things you used to know, but just, be willing and able to reach out and connect with people you love and people more than ever, because I think everybody needs that.
I absolutely agree with you, and if I can add to it, create and learn. One of the big things for me during this time is I've learned so many different things that I probably would not have challenged myself towards, and now I'm sitting there going, wow, why didn't I do this before? So, when you have that kind of time, that helps. And create, I mean, as we speak, of course, I'll be posting this interview, but like I said, you guys are the best example of creating great music, creating something that people can enjoy, and that's what we need, that word joy. So, but to know more of joy and more music and more performances and things like that, social media is the place to go. Where do we go to follow you?
Well, we try and maintain a presence on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and we have a YouTube channel. And one of the things we did this summer, summer pass of 2020, was we set up in the backyard with a little PA, and we performed acoustically around a campfire. And we had a good buddy out here named Kevin Sick who has multiple cameras. It's amazing what technology, how it's liberalized a lot of platforms. He had 4 cameras set up, and he filmed it, and we recorded it to multi-track, and we invited about 22 people over. We didn't want to go over that 30 people limit, and we filmed it and recorded it, and we mixed it and packaged it, and we put it up on our YouTube channel. All these acoustic performances that were done over the summer. So that's some content as well that people can go and watch too. It's really quite enjoyable. Actually, we're pretty happy with it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for this interview. Thanks for the new music releases. It's definitely what we need to. Be safe where you are and cross fingers, my friend. Who knows? Maybe at the CCMAs or something, because I usually go out and cover that. Hopefully I'll get a chance to be there physically, and hopefully we'll be able to do an interview one-on-one, because I really love to sit down and talk to you and everybody else in the band. Thank you so much for the interview, and thank you so much for the music.
You bet. Thank you.
Take care. Be safe. Talk soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye, Rudy.